And we appear to be, oh, way to go, you knock over the chickens.
Hello, everybody. I'm Sean.
Hi, I'm Jen.
Denny. This is Denny.
Yep.
You guys remember the Cherry Man. Although you're not very cherry anymore, are you?
Starting right off the bat, man. And this is Sequel Chicken.
This is Jorge's here.
He went to go recover a stolen laptop, so he's with us. And he may get back in time to join us.
Yes, and hopefully, so a little background on what happened to him. He was at Starbucks with both his laptop, his company laptop, and his personal laptop.
Baby.
You stroke that chicken. And
that's long,
tell us the
Wait a minute. I've always wanted to do this on film.
That's nasty, funny, but nasty. And he was talking on the phone with one of his coworkers, and got up because they were trying to coordinate so they could go meet. And he got up and left the laptop bag there without thinking about it for a second, kind of like walked around the corner, I guess, and turned around and came back.
Actually made it all the way in the cab to the venue last night.
Oh, he did make it into the cab?
And then when he started to get out of the cab, he's like, where's my cab?
He made it that far. I didn't realize he made it that far.
He was outside the front door.
Went back, and the laptop bag was gone. So apparently one of the whoever stole it took one of the laptops to a computer repair shop to have the password removed. Like, I forgot my password.
Like you do.
And apparently he was too stupid to just download the CD off the internet and burn it and do it himself. And I guess the shop took the initiative to dig through the computer a little bit and found some contact info.
Am I the only one that finds that unusual?
No, because you hear enough stories about kiddie porn getting found when you take your computer in.
Wow.
Yeah, but I mean, just for a simple wipe, though, it seems to me like they would just shut up and do what they're told. So
no,
because it wasn't a wipe though; it was just an unlock.
They're like,
well, he told me that I ran into him and he told me that he asked him to wipe it.
Okay, I'm sure they're like pawn shops where they get a lot of stolen stuff, so they check.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean,
I'm impressed.
Yeah, I'm quite impressed that they took the initiative to actually verify that this was actually this person. Hopefully, the cops are there when the guy is called to come pick up his laptop, and they can get his other laptop back.
Because not many people will go into a computer shop and just say, "I forgot my password. Will you wipe it?" It's like, really?
Well, maybe.
Yeah. They're going to do their.
Will you wipe it? Yeah. So we're going to lock it, maybe.
Yeah. So, and then you got to kind of prove it's yours and all that kind of stuff, I would imagine. But so I'm glad that's working out at least on that.
Yes, he got one back. Unfortunately, he's getting his company laptop back. I'm sure Pragmatic is happy about that, but Jorge's personal laptop is still in the wind. So hopefully they can the cops will arrest the guy and find the other laptop.
Glad for Tommy.
Sad for Johnny.
No, because I've seen this a lot, and I've always wondered. I've always wanted to take a laptop and put it a couple of things down, right? Because quite often I'll see somebody in like a fast food place with their MacBook open, and then they step outside to make a phone call, and they're out there for like 20 minutes with their box completely unguarded, and who's to sit there and just go, nope, and then leave? And I've always wondered, close up their thing and put it behind something or something like that,
Just move it and see what happens.
Yeah, just to prove to them, look, dude, there's a fucking box, right? I mean, I sat there for my entire meal one time, and then some, and watched some guy outside talking on and not even looking at his laptop and just sitting there on the table.
Yeah, I work at Starbucks all the time. I've been working from home for years, and I've unfortunately become probably too trusting.
You get complacent, don't you?
But I will never just walk away from it.
I lock my box at work if I'm doing my cubicle.
I'll lock it. I'll Windows L it and at least lock it. But I won't leave the table until I've found somebody who's been there, sitting in that Starbucks about as long as I have. They're probably doing the same thing I am. They're working from.
Yeah, sure.
You mind watching my laptop for just a second? I'll just be right back.
Yeah.
And knock on wood, haven't been bit yet.
Well, I've watched that guy take it, and I lost sight of it, but I watched it as best I could.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, really, did you at least can describe the guy that stole it for me?
Yeah.
Well, he was holding the laptop.
Yeah.
No kidding.
And
yeah, I kind of lost sight of it.
Fortunately, I have backup software.
So here we are at Pass again. I'm rocking the sock sandals.
We are all rocking the kilt.
We are all rocking the kilts.
And the kilt shirts. I'm so happy.
If Jorge makes it back, he'll be in jeans.
Hold on, I forgot to do this earlier when we were on with Mark Sousa.
can't take you anywhere.
I know.
I got to give my Sharon Stone,
And
man.
it's not like you're wearing it properly anyway.
You don't know that.
I didn't say that.
She knows nothing.
All I said was that he didn't show his underwear.
No,
Yeah.
You said underwear line. You insinuated.
Well, you have an underwear line whether or not you're wearing underwear.
This is true.
So fair is fair.
This is
Fair enough.
Well, this is going to be the entire show. We have nothing of substance
Yeah,
right now.
okay.
So we're
Okay.
Is there anything of substance that you would like to talk about, Mr. Cherry?
No, I'm burnt out from 2 days of pass.
Ooh.
I know, right?
Substance.
So I've got a little bit
dirty
of
jokes.
substance because it's on my mind. I was talking about it up there.
Oh, okay.
The always-on stuff that they talked about this morning.
Mm.
I am so cautious about that. It is not even funny.
It sounds that always on sounds interesting.
And it demos well. And all
Demo's
that.
great.
But then again,
can't wait-
Backpack demoed great too.
I can't wait to see this data center edition cost for what the Nolly's going to cost, because I'm sure prices are going to go up.
Yeah.
From what are we at, 62,990 or something right now? So maybe we'll be at 68, 69,000. Oh, that'd be a nice price point, 69,000.
Yeah.
That's
But
what they're actually aiming for.
so
Always.
the way this looks like it's going to work, right? This is the stuff that Ozar and I got in an argument about last year at the summit about taking mirroring away from just mirroring and putting clustering underneath the covers.
Yeah.
To be able to do this stuff.
More auto failover-y.
Yeah, exactly.
One namespace-y kind of failover stuff.
And
yeah.
that's just
Well, my question again is: this is something that they're just enhancing in that way, and will still have mirroring, because that's a lot more forgivable to just add functionality
Exactly,
and not
I
take away
agree.
mirroring.
Yeah,
So we should find somebody and ask them.
Yeah, I can't imagine they'd remove mirroring per se.
well, and they're not removing it as much as it's just being migrated.
Yeah, this is a new thing built on.
Well,
base.
we're talking about removing mirroring instead of removing standalone mirroring,
Yeah, I'm sure-
non-cluster dependent mirroring.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the long term, definitely the long term goal at the very
which
least.
again defeats the purpose of having mirroring to begin with. So you don't have to have cluster level hardware, cluster level OS, cluster. I mean, it's
Yeah, the thing I love, mirroring right now works in standard up, right? I don't do too much with
believe
those
so.
with their shitty versions.
sure. I don't know about work group, but
Yeah, I don't
we'll
know.
say
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. We'll say standard up, but this is. I would imagine this is. I think we talked about this earlier today. It's probably going to come in 2 flavors. 2 nodes is enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do more than 2 nodes in this always on thing? Well, that's going to be a data center.
Right. Well,
So
I think
if we remove mirroring, we're now removing a feature from a huge portion of the customer.
Well, I think what's going to happen is the failover stuff will probably be enterprise and above. And you can still do you could probably still do the basic stuff.
Maybe, yeah, because you don't have auto failover today in standard, do you?
Yeah.
Do you in mirroring?
Yeah.
Do you? Okay. There's an enterprise difference in mirroring. I don't remember what
There
it is.
is.
It's
the,
compression and
No, it's not
No,
just
no,
compression.
no.
It's the height.
well, that's what I'm trying to say. And let's see, there was an
Oh,
and
sorry, I
after
didn't mean to
that.
go.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you're a mirroring expert. Go.
Oh,
I'm not saying another word.
oh, sorry.
No, seriously, go ahead.
No, I was actually searching for it in the middle of it, and I didn't hear the end. So
Okay.
no, but it's the not compression. See, you said compression now or encryption now, and it's just messing
I said
over.
compression.
You said one of those things.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of
Compresses
them,
the log.
one of them is
so-
high
My phone
performance,
has
and I think
gone
it's high performance failover that's not mirroring that's not available.
I could have sworn that those were available on all of them,
Well, there's asynchronous and synchronous, and then
My-
there's
my
2
wife
different
will be
versions
joining
of
Don't do that
async.
word.
I'm going to get it wrong anyway.
Yeah,
but the other thing you don't
synchronous.
have is the page level restore, the automatic page level restore from the mirror. Because in the enterprise, it'll detect that it's got a corrupt page.
Right,
And
yeah,
it'll go to the
it'll-
mirror.
it'll
It'll
pick it up,
automatically go
yeah.
to the mirror and go pick it up. And that's cool. Not very useful very often, I hope. But
One would hope, but if you've
But-
got a hiccup somewhere.
it's more of a sales point than it is a use point, right? It's one of those.
I'm sure it's a tick box against Oracle.
Yeah. Well, Active Data Guard's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, but because you can still read from that now, and not only can you read from that, but you can make changes. This is the cool thing about Active Data Guard, right? Is you can make changes, so you can change data file layout, you can change SPs, you can do anything, run scenarios against it, and then hit a button and it'll roll all the way back to where it was when you started.
Right.
And then it'll roll the current logs forward anyway. So it allows you to use it and do whatever you want to that database, and then roll back to where you were and put you put you back in synchronicity with the host service. That's Active Data Guard's the bomb, man. I mean, they really did it
That's
up.
some pretty cool shit. Yeah.
So, and what that allows you to do is work directly with their, not to be an Oracle guy, right? But this is a cool feature. I mean, this is something where they really blow us out of the water. So they've got their replay, which is much better than ours, right?
Right.
And you can
always has been, always will be.
Yeah. And so you can run a replay against that. Say, like, if you have an SP change, and you know the SP, and you've got a replay capture from your primary box, you can make the SP changes that you want to make, and then run the replay workload against it and see how it performs with the new SP changes, and then just roll everything back and then be in sync. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they've got some cool stuff in there, and their replay, like I said, is much better than ours.
And how much does that cost?
Yeah, I know. Trust me.
I'm sure it costs $3.
But again, that automatic page restore is more of a marketing point than it, because how often will you ever use that? It's one of those.
It's one of those hopefully never kind of things. What do you think, Jorge?
Yeah.
He looks very surprised.
I see he's just as brilliant as he ever is.
Just like having the same thing, the real thing here.
Yeah, exactly. Except, wait a minute, you got to rub on my thigh a little more. There you go.
Yeah.
Now it's like having Jorge here. So.
Man, that guy, he looks beat down. That's day.
She's checking my laptop. I'm gonna look pretty beat down too until I do some beating down. So
I know, right? So anyway, that's what I had on that. I'm very now the file table.
Oh,
People are very trepidatious about that too. Why not? And
too substantive.
No, we bash the crap out. I mean, discuss it. You know,
yes.
Intelligent man.
Until I see it,
yeah,
and actually get to play with it,
very reserved.
I'm reserved, but I'm excited about it because I've had talks with the Microsoft guys about this for a couple years now, and they've been feeding me stuff. So and I'm glad I can finally talk about it. But the cool, I mean, just think of the cool factor of this, dude. Yeah. You've got a regular folder on the hard drive, and you drag a file in there or a series of files, and they automatically show up in the database.
Yeah, well, I mean, they show up in the database. They're saved in the database.
Yeah.
So they're going into the MDF, the NDF, and the LDF.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
which is cool, but then I thought it was really extra cool, and it shouldn't be that impressive to me because, you know, it's all Microsoft integration. But to be able to just double-click on it within the database and have a preview.
Yeah,
and I believe he said to be able to modify it too.
Well, yeah, it's a network, it's a live network share. I mean,
so you think about it. And I blogged on this today, but it was like one little line down here, so I don't know if anybody's going to read it. But
nothing never do.
Yeah, exactly. So, but one of the things that I'm already thinking is that's one of the big things we use PowerShell for is to make mass changes to files, right? Yeah. Well, now you can just do that as a batch job in T-SQL. Well, you got two ways to do it now.
Do we have access? We don't know if we yet have access to the actual. Sorry, go ahead. To the file contents. I mean, I'm sure there'll be.
Yeah, we don't know about that yet. But
I mean, I would imagine there's a way. I mean, if the data's in the engine, there's got to be a way to expose it somehow.
Sure.
Right.
I mean, this is all done through .NET CLR integration. So.
Right.
Sit up, boy.
Sit up, or we're going to throw you away.
More baby data protection.
I'm just going to play with our chicken for a while.
But so yeah, I mean, it's the technology itself is so cool.
Yeah. Right.
Just to be able and I've already got people going, well, what would you use that for? And that's used. Well, I can think of a few use cases. Come on, man. I mean, you don't be that way.
Yeah, but there's definitely use cases for it. It's just going to be one of those. All right, let's make sure we're using it in the right place, and that we understand the consequences of taking 2 terabytes of data and shoving it into this file table network share.
Right. And we were talking to Mark Souza about that earlier today. And one of the things that I'm really concerned with is let's get together as a quote thought leading community, right? And let's get the message out there properly to keep people from doing stupid shit with this and then giving the technology itself a bad name.
Lead the charge, man.
It may be one of my new charges. It might be. I'll have to play with it and see how it turns out, right?
That's what he said.
But I know, right? But yeah, what I don't want to happen is for everybody to just load this thing blindly and then have it just be a complete dog for them, and then turn around and say, well, this shit sucks, and then we got to spend the next 7 years ironing out the misconceptions and all the BS and everything, right? Let's put some pretty heavy caveats in BOL right off the bat.
Don't throw 10 billion files at one file table.
Yeah,
it's going to be bad if you do.
Yeah, that sounds like a bad idea.
What's the first thing that's going to happen? It's not going to be the small guy putting 50 files in. It's going to be some large company. It's going to put.
All right,
dude, we told you. There's going to be some company that's going to put 100,000 files a day in. And then performance is going to turn to crap on the entire database engine because, if this is just a SQL object, how much of this is being cached?
Right.
Are we now going to be blowing out our buffer pool?
Right, exactly.
With file.
Right. Is this in process, out of process?
With this file data that until today, we've always done our best to keep out of the database.
Right.
And now we've got this feature that we're trying to shove it all back into the database.
But look at what that's going to do for. I talked about this before. Even like file processing. For companies that get XML orders or some other type of text-based orders, right?
Yeah.
That just dropped in a folder, and just look at now. You don't have to have that package that goes out there every few minutes and picks that up, or a file watcher task. Now it's just going to show up in the database and be processed.
Yeah,
dude, really? Wow.
There's definitely some cool techniques, especially when you maybe throw a trigger on that file table.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I know you want to hear that, but. There could be some interesting things you could do if that were even possible. I have no idea.
Yeah, we haven't played with it.
I have not downloaded the bits since they were announced.
Well, and they said all the functionality isn't going to be available in this CTP, which means probably nothing
is going to work.
Nothing they demoed is going to be available, which I don't understand why they do that.
Yeah,
they really wanted to be able to say first time ever the announcement, and you get to take it home right away. Because we gave them such a hard time. What was it? It was last year.
Last time around, yeah.
Because they were announcing R2?
Yeah, yes.
God, was that only last year?
Then, you know what? Then demo what you've got.
Yeah, demo what I'm going to take home, not what...
You know why? Because there's
not
much. There's not much.
They can't win. They can't.
There's not much in the CTP. From what I've seen, there's not much.
Would you stop playing with your chicken?
Jorge keeps falling over. He will not sit appropriately.
It's
Stop
buggy.
choking SQL chicken.
We've already gone there.
And it's actually pretty buggy, too. They're having huge problems with SMS and all that. If you look at the forum, right? It's just nothing but... It just threads of nothing but one problem after another, right?
Yeah, no, there's all sorts of weirdness going on. But, hey, you can do Control-Z, not SSIS now.
I do think that's cool.
I think it's great. I think it should have been there 5 years ago.
Well, that got big applause, and I thought that was really cool. And then a whole bunch of people were like, oh, really, people, you're flooding Control. I'm like, well,
it should definitely be there.
It should be about it's a small thing. Small things make us happy, and small things piss us off.
Well, it seems like a small thing, but imagine to keep up with all the things in a visual designer that you have to in order to bring them back.
Oh,
it's probably not necessarily that small, right? It's not like text.
It's not a visual designer. It's an XML document.
Yeah.
So it is.
Yeah, but that's a visual representation, though.
Well, yeah, but I don't give a shit about the visual representation. You Control Z, you undo the changes to the XML,
and something that should be in there, and it's something that's
Christ! I said fair enough.
No.
Yeah, but I'm going to beat the dead horse.
Explaining it to me.
Because I'm excited about Control Z. I'm not arguing with you. I'm arguing with people that were.
You know what would be better? Is having a table and having a source and a destination, and wanting to copy that and use another table and destination, and just copying that, saving it at the source, and have it change all of the metadata down the line instead of having to go reset up everything. Or if the metadata on one side changes, instead of making me take half a day to troubleshoot what the friggin' metadata problem is, to just say your metadata is out of whack, would you like us to fix it down the line? Yes, and then just fix it down the goddamn line, right?
I have a general question about the tools section of the keynote this morning, because by that time they had bored me to death and then brought me back a little bit, and then I was just going like this, so I'm talking to Grant. What the hell did they put into bids? The designer, just the table designer, is that all?
Well,
and
it's
why did they take it out of
It's automatically tied now to the SQL at the bottom.
Yeah, and
so
I saw that. But
what they're demonstrating is the new language services that... Okay, so the backstory on that, right?
Yeah.
Is that you've got Access and Excel and Visual Studio and SMS and all of their other tools are building in different types of IntelliSense and all that to be able to control the code and all that, right?
Okay.
But the problem is everybody's building their own. So they've got this new language services group that is providing the classes to centralize all that. Now everybody is going to get the same consistent experience. All of these guys who need the T-SQL language services and metadata about all of the statements and all of the objects inside the database and everything is coming from one single group now, and so it's going to be a consistent experience. Everybody's going to have the same functionality instead of the Visual Studio
consistency within the product. That's just
instead of Visual Studio being 10 years ahead of what SMS is, and so on and so on, right? So what they were demonstrating was that they've gotten the first big iteration of that ready, and when you're going through the table designer, how they're creating the SQL down there for you, and you can edit the SQL. You can do it. You can do it in either place. You can do it in either place, and now you can natively refactor because now they have object. They have
it's the dependency change.
Object dependency change, but that's been in
no,
data
that's
view
not what
forever.
I'm trying to say. They have anyway. They know about all the objects now. They have information about the objects now, and so they can do that. It's not just text. Inside the language service is not just a text search when you refactor.
It's an extension of the SMS query IntelliSense giving you table names and things like that.
Well, no, because even that wasn't language services initially. They're so, but it's anyway. But it's the actual metadata itself, and it's not just a text representation of it. So it's not just refactoring based off of. It's refactoring based off of its knowledge of the objects and their dependencies, not just saying. Control H, right? It's not just looking for that text in there. So if that specific text shows up in another column name, it's going to change it because because
that's what find and replace does.
Right. So anyway, that's what they were showing.
Because it sounded either from something somebody tweeted or from something I misheard that they were taking some piece of functionality out of SMS and putting it in bids. Well, that doesn't necessarily make sense.
I don't think they were taking the table designer out. I think they were just adding it into bids.
Yeah, maybe.
Which as DBAs, we just don't give a crap.
Well, yeah, but I do a lot in SMS and I do a lot in SIS, and it pisses me off to have to leave SIS in order to change a table or because when I'm working out metadata, I gotta leave that to come over here. It's like really.
The same thing. I have to have an SMS and big I've been doing a lot of report writing lately.
I'm sorry.
What I'd like is for them to incorporate bids into SMS. So as a DBA, I can look at packages, right? And look at reports.
There's nothing Sean likes better than looking at package.
He loves
cheap
mine.
shot.
I mean, that's right.
Well, there we go.
That's a conversation starter.
I don't know why you can't just view in IS package. It's so they showed some thing that hopefully will get to that point, and maybe not RTM in reality, SQL 14, where you can actually now have an integration services object item in SSMS when you're connected to the engine, not integration services.
Right.
So it's there now. So it's more importantly, it's back where it belongs.
Exactly.
And where it was in ye old Enterprise Manager.
There's not a lot missed from DTS, but that's definitely one.
Yeah,
that's being able to just look at packages, right?
Well, I mean, then you were editing. I mean, that was your editor.
Exactly.
Was EM. I mean,
but see, the other thing I miss is DOM control.
I said anything with DOM.
Yeah, in order to, because you used to be able to, and it was all in VB script, right? So it was hard.
Yeah.
But you used to be able to like turn off different transforms, so you could say you'd always have this split that went like that, right? If you wanted the same thing we do right now. If you want to do this, do that. If you want to do that, right? So it's the same thing that the function line has now, right?
Right.
But what you used to be able to do is split it off and take it down two paths, and you could even converge it like that. But the last thing before that is you would check for a value, and then you would go over there and disable all of these, which would make it go down that path. And then you disable all of these, which would make it go down that path. So if you didn't have that there, it would go down both of them, right? But you put that there to make it go down one of them and then run that last step. So and every now and then, most of the time you can get around that if you're clever enough. They make you be clever enough, right?
That's what a lot of exercise says: is are you clever enough to figure out how to make this work?
But every now and then it would be really useful to say, if this equals that, disable this.
Yeah.
It'd just be really nice to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So those are the two things I can think of right now that I miss from DTS, and that's about it. Everything else is
this was pretty much power crap.
yeah. Well,
Especially once we got SSIS. We knew it was bad. We didn't realize just how bad it really was until we got something that could actually
well,
do
because
some
we had
work.
all learned all the tricks, and you get those deceptively simple packages, right? And you open up and it's a little script test, and you go, this is going to be easy, and you open up and it's 12 pages of script, and you're like, oh crap.
Oh, yeah, thanks for this.
I'm never going to get this change made.
Thanks for this little gem.
Exactly, right? Especially when you're turning on and off DOM stuff, right? It's just,
That's
and it's never commented.
What a comment. Excuse me.
Exactly.
I had a 7 a.m. breakfast this morning I had to be at, so I had to get up at like 6.
As it turns out, it hit me about 10 minutes ago. I'm actually pretty damn hungry. I'm starting to feel it.
Well,
That's because of the gas.
well, let's go eat.
Yeah.
Well, here's a suggestion. We can keep going, or we can shut it down and go eat something, and then try again later with the real chicken.
No,
I'm easy.
We'll pick this up tomorrow in different clothes.
I'm wearing this for the rest of the conference.
For the rest of his life.
I
Right?
figure you don't wear it for the rest of the month.
I might wash it every now and then, because I think that's the kind of thing that you probably should do, just out of spec, right?
Probably, yeah.
But so, Vigati, what are you looking forward to most in this conference?
Oh my God, I hate that. I could have smacked Ed when he told me that was the question he was going to ask me.
I know. Well, he
thank God I got my stock answer. I'm here to see all my friends. I'll talk to the product group.
Well, he pulled me aside. He just pulled me over there and stood me up and said, "Go." And he says, "Okay, so why are you here at PASS?" I said,
It's
I said to see PASS. He's like, "Okay, thanks, bye." I'm like, "Where's this going to be?" He's like, "Oh, it's going to be on that big monitor."
And on YouTube.
But the thing we did earlier today with the pan up shot and all that.
Yeah.
Who was it that stopped me? Somebody stopped me and said, "I saw you on the big monitor with the thing." I was like, "Oh Christ, that went up."
It's Ed. He's not going to not post it.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right.
So,
Let's
yeah.
do it.
What? How long have we been going?
Okay,
It seems like
an hour or
forever.
so.
Yeah, 27. God, it seems like forever, doesn't it? It's been a long day.
It's been a long couple of days.
And I forgot we were doing this tonight, so she pulled me over and said, "We got to go do chicken at 5." I was like, "Really?
Yeah.
Can it at least be fried?" I love a good fried chicken, but it's...
Well, it can, but it's going to be a little tough.
Yeah.
All right.
So maybe we'll pick this up later, or maybe we'll just...
No.
Yeah, Jim, we'll just call it, depending on how tired we are tomorrow.
Exactly, or tonight, or
These
whatever.
will come off. I found that out early.
Yeah, I know. I can see this is the one that you pulled off. Anyway, so maybe we'll pick this up later, maybe we won't. So we officially won't sign off.
Ooh,
And,
how fancy.
and then this will be a cliffhanger.
Here's us not signing off.